Hi everyone, I am Teacher Gladys and I believe that learning occurs if the learners are actively involved in the formation and acquisition of knowledge and meaning. Hence, my teaching philosophy is aligned with constructivism. This is totally opposed from the passive way of teaching where students are just merely receiving information. With the use of constructivist teaching method, I ensure that all my students are building their own representation and incorporating their new learnings from their pre-existing knowledge. I also believe in what Benjamin Franklin once said, "Tell me and I forget, teach me and I may remember, involve me and I learn." So in my class, I see to it that I encourage all my students to engage in a collaborative learning. They can learn from me, they can learn from their classmates and peers, and they can learn from their own discovery. Furthermore, in my teaching strategy, I also take into consideration the individual differences of my students. Each and every one of them has a unique way of learning. Associating the multiple intelligences theory in my teaching is both beneficial for me and for my students. In that way, I can select the appropriate learning activities that I could give them and guide them to learn more effectively. Lesson plan is very vital in the daily life of a teacher. As compared to soldiers, this is our weapon or armor. A good lesson plan should start with an action-oriented, attainable, and measurable learning objectives. This states what the student should be able to do by the end of the class. As teachers, it is our goal to help our students reach and attain these objectives. Secondly, learning material should also be indicated in the lesson plan. And of course, this material should be available because these supplies will support the lesson and achieve the objectives. Next is the learning activities. This is the core of the lesson plan. It is the step-by-step procedure of the lesson itself. In this part, the teacher facilitates collaborative learning. The learning activities should be aligned with the learning objectives, and also don't forget to pair this with ample time suited by the class schedule. Moreover, assessment is also a key component of a good lesson plan. This answers the question, did we meet our objectives? The result of the assessment is what excites me as a teacher because I could see the outcome of my labor. And lastly, I personally include my own reflection in my lesson plan. I write few notes about my observation of what has transcribed. This is for me to continuously improve my craft and to be able to do a lot better lesson and strategies in the future. Historian and journalist Henry Adams once said, "A teacher affects eternity. He can never tell where his influence stops." I have this former student named Justin. He was my student in 4th grade, that was 10 years ago, who constantly messaged me through social media, sharing his achievements and successes, may it be small or big ones, even now that he is in senior high school. He will always tell me how grateful he is to me because I saw the best in him and I have helped him unleash his full potentials and discover his gifts and talents and help him to show it off. When he was in my class, he was so shy and unsure of himself and his capabilities. Plus, the fact that he is afraid of the idea of hearing harsh words and words of discouragement whenever he fails. So, what I did was to push him harder because I already see that the intelligence, talents, and skills are all in him. The only problem is he's afraid to show it off. So I push him harder and I asked him to represent our class in the different school activities and competitions such as spelling bee, science quiz bee, and a lot more. So that's the time when he began to be more confident and sure of his capabilities. I believe that each student has their own unique talent and skills, and as teachers, it is our role to help them find out their gifts and encourage them to take one step closer to their dreams and reach for their goals. It's very important that we make them feel that someone believes in them.